Long ago, in a faraway land, there was a beautiful kingdom on the sea. The king and queen have but one heir, Prince Philip, who has been betrothed to the princess. The whole kingdom rejoices in the union, bringing a new age of peace and prosperity. But, wait, where's Philip? Philip? Philip, where are you? Ah, there you are, Philip. Wait, Prince Peter? Philip, this isn't the way
I really enjoy the sort of stylistic conceit of using classic fairy tale constructs to sort of deconstruct the pressure that queer people, in this instance, a gay man would feel in terms of going against social norms to pursue what he feels is the correct romantic pursuit for him in his life. I thought it was interesting using the fairy tale construct because I think there's an idea of the fairy tale construct being limiting in particular to women, always structuring them as a princess, a damsel, someone to be saved. And I thought that the using the man as a central construct within this story was also reflective of how these sort of societal ideals can be limiting to men, and how there's a lot of societal expectations of who to be that also translate to that gender, regardless of the sexual orientation. But obviously, in this instance, it was of a gay man, but I thought that the piece worked well in sort of reflecting his specific journey and also co-opting more big picture ideas about sense of self and who you get to be and how you're allowed to be that person. And obviously, this piece was sort of constructed for a younger audience, I felt, to be accessible to a younger audience, which made me think that it was quite inspirational and educational pursuit in trying to find a way to get this message across to a young audience, especially in a space in which younger queer people are facing a lot of issues in terms of finding themselves within media and being sort of validated in their experience, especially at that age.
I think it's a fun take on, the traditional fairy tale. But instead of this prince saving the princess, it's almost well, no, I was going to say it's reversed, where the princess helps this prince find his true love. But I think it's more complex than that. And I think it flips gender norms on its head like that. So I don't think that's a fair consensus, but I do think it's really fun that we have this princess be supportive and help the prince go out and find his love. I don't think that there's a lot of animations for or highlighting the LGBT community. So I think this was really fun. And I think the way it does it is something that's familiar, and it switches up the story. It's really interesting. And I think in the time where we have like red, white, and royal blue coming out, I think something like this fills the animation space of a similar story. Just very interesting.
I loved the animation because it really did bring me back to like the very classic original animated like princess movies, just with that kind of style of animation. So that I think was, I really loved that because like I said, it just kind of brought me back to that time. So important as well of showing kids from a young age that love can look a lot of different ways and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. That way, as they grow up and they learn what love looks like to them, they're not afraid or scared that something's wrong with them, or that, they need to be scared to tell, their parents or their friends about it. And so I thought it was really great. I really loved it. I loved the concept. I loved the artwork. I loved the artistry to it. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was really wonderful. I thought it was really fun. And I thought it was important too of, like I said, having the visibility, having it just be another thing that we can point to and be like, hey, sometimes love looks like this, sometimes love looks like this. Neither of it is wrong. Nothing, as you're growing up, whatever love looks like to you should be okay.
I love the concept behind this. We don't have any LGBTQ plus princes in Disney at the moment, to my knowledge, and so having this was really cool. I loved that we had the narrator really join into the action with, fighting against this narrative. It was very symbolic in a way of, the fight for this kind of representation, especially in animation, children's films, Disney especially. But it was very cute. I love that the prince was fighting to have his love, fighting to have his happy ending. And I also enjoyed that the princess was supportive, and the princess was also fighting for the prince to find his own prince. So yeah, I thought it was super cute. I love the representation in it, in the animation, and the nods to real life issues.
The creative way of having it be a storybook and having these characters come to life, and the narrator was hilarious. And getting to see this little adventure happen across the pages, and getting to see them pop out and have their own fight in them. And I loved, during the credit roll where we have the princess and she's still alone, and then there's her knight in shining armor who's a woman and comes. It's just, it's so sweet and lovely. And I really love this concept. I thought the animation was awesome and amazing. I think my favorite scene was after the two of them had kind of been like kicked out of the book, and that rainbow light kind of shines on them. Just beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful job with the animation and the narration.